Hi everyone, this is Noah Sandler from Mtgo Academy, and today we're going to be doing a Kaladesh competitive single elimination draft league. So let's jump into queue. And this is my first time trying out these competitive draft leagues. They're supposed to mimic the 8-4 draft queues in how competitive they are, but also using the league format so you can play your games out whenever you want. And also more top heavy than the friendly leagues. It looks like these queues are taking a lot longer to fire than the normal draft queues have been. And here we go. So it took about 2 minutes. All right, we have an interesting pack. I'm not exactly sure what the best pick is. There are some good black cards: Etherborn, Marauder, Underhanded Designs, Malphus Squad, and there's two good artifacts: the Concoction Module and Key to the City. And I haven't actually had a lot of experience with either of them. I think they're both better than they look, and we can take one and not have to commit to a color. And given that we are passing a lot of black, if we took Marauder, I suppose someone might be taking one of the artifacts, but we might have to fight for black a little bit. I think Marauder is better than Underhanded Designs. It's just going to go in any deck where Designs takes a bit of work. But I think I'm going to take Key of the City. I've heard mixed reviews on it. The card does seem pretty powerful, and it's an artifact, keeps us open. Here there are some good blue cards. Imperial Voyager is the most powerful card, but it's gold, so I probably don't want to take that. There's a Foundry Screecher, Ether Theorist, and Minister of Inquiries. Now we did pass a lot of black. You could take Foundry Screecher, and you could probably make a black artifact deck that could make use of Key of the City and Screecher. That could be a good fit. I think Ether Theorist is the best monocolor card, so I'm leaning towards that. I think I'm going to take the Theorist, but I suppose you could take Voyager, just move in on a gold card, but I think Theorist is just going to make the cut a lot more often. And a really powerful pack here: Doorbuster, Unlicensed Disintegration, Tidy Conclusion, Gearseeker Serpent. So the Disintegration is the best card in the pack. It's completely off the colors that we're at the moment. Tidy Conclusion would be easier for us to play. I mean, given this pack, there's some really good red and black cards. There is a Gearseeker Serpent. We do have the Key of the City. Could work well. And we have the Ether Theorist. So, really tough pick. I do think black is open, and it might not be open in pack 2. So, pretty interesting. Serpent or Conclusion? I think Conclusion is a better card. But we might have to fight for black in pack 2. But we should get good black pack 3, so I'm going to go with the Conclusion. And we have a Pima Outrider, Die Young, Gearseeker Serpent, Ether Theorist. So more good blue. Die Young's a good black card, and Pima Outrider is the best card in the pack. It's the first green card we've seen, but this is a really powerful pack, so I'm not sure if that's actually a signal. I think I would want to just stick to the colors that I'm in right now. So I think it's Die Young versus Serpent or Theorist, and I think I'm going to take the Die Young. I don't think cutting blue is as important. People tend to avoid blue anyway. And Die Young with the Ether Theorist, if we're blue-black, Die Young gets a lot better in blue-black with energy. Here we have a Windrake, Scavenger, Fragmentize, Seed Sculptor, Trumpeter. So perhaps green is open. This does seem like a bit of a signal. Could just take a Windrake. Goggles could also be fine. Is there some way that we move into green? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to take Windrake. And Peafowl. There's a Timing, Rush of Vitality. Take the Peafowl. Here we have Thriving Turtle or Etherborn. I think that's kind of close. We have Young and Theorist, so we have a little bit of energy stuff. So I think I'm going to go with the Turtle. It's close, though. It's pretty easy to pick up Etherborns later on. You can only have so many 5-drops. We already have one. If we are artifact focused, we get Contraband Kingpin, then Etherborn would be a pretty good 5-drop. But I'll go with the Turtle. Another Etherborn or Peafowl. I'm going to go Peafowl. And Windrake versus Rush. We could kind of be blue-black aggressive here. I think I'm going to take another Windrake. I've drafted this archetype just once. It's not super well supported, but yeah, you just take aggressive blue and black cards, artifacts, Foundry Screecher, Gearseeker Serpent, flyers, removal, and yeah, you can make it work. It'll be interesting to see pack 2, because we passed some really strong black, and we also passed some strong blue. But in this, also we passed good stuff in all colors, the Pima Outrider, a couple impeccable timings, some decent red. So I wouldn't expect to see a very good pack 2. It might be a really bad pack 2 also, but pack 3 should be good. I think blue and black were reasonably open in pack 1. Here we have Skygate, Puzzle Knot, Innovator. Probably don't want Innovator. Skygate versus Puzzle Knot. If we're winning with flyers, which at the moment it seems like we are, I think the Skygate could be good. It's a good board card too. I think it's close with Puzzle Knot. They both can fulfill a similar role, just being a cheap artifact. Can't imagine playing Eridar Express in a deck like this. So I'll just take second trade wins. And Scavenger's not bad. I'd probably play one. So not a good first pack. We're in a not very good archetype. There's a really good card. Skyship Stalker. Or we could take a Foundry Screecher. Firmware Colony could also be good in a deck like this. So, Decision Point. We could see a lot of red this pack. We passed the Unlicensed Disintegration, a Doorbuster, and I think that's it. So maybe we just see a ton of red this pack. And I mean, we have more blue cards than black. Our black cards are kind of powerful. And Screecher would be solid, but it's something I think we could afford to miss out on. Stalker is just so good. It wins so many games by itself. I'm going to go with the Stalker. And Welding Spark, Skywhale, Gearseeker Serpent, and Skyskiff. Skywhale is going to be really good in a deck like this, but there's also a Welding Sparks, which is the better card if we are going to be red. I wonder if we could be red-black. We would get probably good black in the last pack, but I think the blue is what was really open. Tough pick here. I wonder if there's a chance that maybe we could wheel the Serpent, since blue seemed pretty underdrafted. We passed both Skywhale and Serpent. It's got to be a low chance of that. And Skywhale is really what this deck wants at the moment. But I'm going to go with the Sparks. Give red a shot. So Enthusiast and Self-Assembler. And Enthusiast is the best card if we're black, but I might try to move into blue-red, so I'm going to take the Self-Assembler. Oh, Renegade Freighter. Over Theorist. Pretty late. Not the greatest Freighter deck, but the card is just awesome. even if you're not that aggressive. Sure negotiation. That's really nice. Makes me wish we had that the black puzzle knot from earlier instead of the Skygate. And Wayward Giant, select for inspection, puzzle knot, spark of creativity. I think I'll take the select for inspection. Not too interested in the giant, and we have a self-assembler, so if we get one more, our 5s are going to be taken care of. Probably at this point I'm going to be playing the Skygate, at least just for the shrewd negotiation, which I'm kind of short on. And I'll take out the Die Young. So pack 3, it's possible we still just move back into blue-black, because we're not really getting super hooked up with red here. And our red is just a little bit better than the black at the moment, given how good Stalker is. So if we're going to get good black in pack 3, which I think is a lot more likely than getting good red in pack 3, then we're probably going to move back into black. So that's going to be unfortunate that I missed out on the Sky Whale. Okay, another self-assembler over Era of Innovation, Goggles, Artist, Etherborn. I guess Gremlins. Probably not playing it. Could take Spark of Creativity. I think the card's okay. I guess I'll take it. There might be a matchup. Like, I don't think, given our 3s right now, I don't think it's that likely we play Gremlins, but there could be a matchup where we face something like Ovia and we just want to have some more removal, gives a chance of removing it, and Spark would be something that we'd want to side in that case. I guess Mastodon. I just don't ever play Failed Inspection. So, not a great pack 2 either. Okay, we got the Gear Seeker Serpent back, so it makes me feel a lot better about my decision to take the Welding Sparks. I did feel like blue was pretty open at the table, even though the Sky Whale and the Gear Seeker Serpent were some of the best cards in that pack. Take a Blade Master. They're just really committing blue cards, like relatively aggressive blue cards, and there's just not much room at the table for those types of decks. I think Mind Rot's more likely to get played if we move back into black. So the Gear Seeker Serpent actually helped out that pack a good amount. So our late game is looking pretty nice. It's not going to beat the super dirty decks, but Self-Assemblers, Gear Seeker Serpent, Key to the City definitely give us some potential to win late game. Chief of the Foundry should be good. We need more artifacts over Gear Seeker Serpent. I'll try to take a ton of artifacts this pack. Another Key to the City. Another Self-Assembler, Prophetic Prism, Theorist, Foundry Inspector. This sounds like a great Foundry Inspector deck. It's really nice with Self-Assembler. Turn 3 Inspector, turn 4 Assembler, turn 5 Assembler. We have a ton of artifacts. So that seems really good. There's also a Self-Assembler in the pack. And it might wheel. There are a lot of good cards in this pack. And there's another Key to the City. I can't imagine we'd ever want two. So I'm going to go with the Inspector. Suppose it's a close pick. The third Self-Assembler is pretty nice. And nothing really. Built to smash, make obsolete. I suppose I could still be black. I just have 2 red cards right now. It's not really a built to smash deck. Guess I'll take make obsolete. Could also take rats. Yeah, I'll take make obsolete in case we move back into black. Screecher, artist. A lot of rhinos going around. Green seem pretty open. And there's that one Pima Outrider where we hadn't seen any green, and then we just see a good pack with a Pima Outrider. And had I taken that, definitely could have moved into green. I think the draft would have gone better. But could take a Foundry Screecher or a Spontaneous Artist. Whoops. I had to disconnect. Whoa, what was that? Actually, just had some technical difficulties. The end of the draft got cut off. Here's a deck that we ended up with. So from that point in the draft, mainly I got another Gear Seeker Serpent, a third Self-Assembler, which is really key, another Peafowl, not much else. There's a lot of green going through at the end of the draft. I wonder if maybe green could have been an option after that Pima Outrider that we saw late in pack 1. But yeah, this is the build that I went with. Going for lots of flyers, the serpents, giving me a really good late game. Also the self-assembler engine, and going for some windrakes for just some more flyers. And Skygates, the Theorists for early defense. And decided to go with the red over the black. Red's not a ton better than the black. It's just 2 cards, Welding Sparks and a Stalker. But both of those are so powerful that in just about every matchup, they're going to be better than going for the black. Tidy conclusion, make obsolete, die young. So let's get into the games. Okay. Let's get started for round 1. Okay. Fortunate to have 2 self-assemblers. Hopefully don't draw the third. Okay, dying into thriving rats. Oh, Stalker. That's good. I hope we get our 5th land on time. Opponent's stuck on 2. I mean, even if we don't, they're taking a ton of damage, so we're looking good. Shrewd Negotiation. Let's pump this the whole way up. Well, they're stuck. I'll go for a self-assembler rather than put them to 1. Okay. Nothing in board looks that special. Main seems fine. Yeah, run it back. Hand's keepable. The key does give us the ability to loot. So if I do get really flooded here, at least I can spend mana to filter my hand a bit. It's going to be slow. I'm not sure that's going to be a winning play, but it does help out the hand's prospects enough to make it a keep. Skygate. So if I go for key, then I go for Drake, I can use key and play Skygate. So I gotta go for the key first. So by not going for the Skygate, I'm going to take a little extra damage here from the Screecher, potentially. And the Artist. I guess I trade. Can't be blocked to this turn. When untaps, pay 2, draw a card. Okay. Alright. Self-assembler. And, I mean, Chief combos pretty well with that, too. I'll block. Yeah, that's fine. Take it 1 for 1. Operative's okay. And we just have 1 turn to not draw a second self-assembler. And we'll be good. Or our 3rd self-assembler. Good. Do we offer up the trade? I could actually make it unblockable. Since I'm just going to play another self-assembler next turn anyway. Guess double Pyrohelix here. Okay, and Harness Lightning. So opponent does get 1 energy left over. So if they draw a big creature here, that could be in trouble. Because they could give it haste, smash for a ton of damage. Okay, Puzzle Knot. Turns on the Operative. That's a good draw too, especially if they draw into a creature here. Wow. Okay, time to hold back now. I couldn't have ever expected that to happen. Select for inspection is nice. Do think I need to go for the assembler though. Like I could go for Chief select, but Chief doesn't actually. I guess Chief could trade with the Operative. Okay, Salivating Gremlins. Opponent does not attack. I'm good with that. I guess I want to loot the land away. Yeah, this looting's been really good this game. Okay. Not bad. So Opponent can draw an extra card and get 2 cards. Chief does hold back the gremlins since I can block with the 5/5 assembler. So I'll go for both of these. And then next turn go for Serpent. I'm close to just getting in here, but I don't want to discard any of these cards. These are both really good now. I guess go to upkeep. I don't think I'm scrying, actually. I think I want to have... Like, I might make an attack here, and I want to have Theorist back to maybe chump or something. Opponent just passes. Doesn't sack the puzzle knot, so they want to keep the operative up. So I'm just going to go to my turn, draw... Freighter, it's a 6/5 trampler with the chief, so that's pretty good. Can play both of these. Yep. Yeah, should have left 1 red up. Pass the turn, I guess. Attack with 1 assembler. This trades with the 3/3. Two assemblers? Nah. Okay, opponent sacks the puzzle knot. So I can go slightly faster here. Territorial Gorger. Okay. It's a little bit scary, but they don't have any way to activate it at the moment. Theorist, another Serpent, sure. Just 2 mana. I could probably discard the select for inspection. So this is going to be 6, so Freighter at least is going to trade with... Oh no, the operative doesn't have Death Touch, so Freighter's a really good attack here. It's going to trade with 2 things if they block it. And I could make the assembler unblockable. I think I want to do that. Not... Could I die here? It's a Gorger. I mean, I've got some nice things back to block, but I'd have to discard the select for inspection. So it would be sort of all in. But it means that I can definitely get 10 damage in the next turn. No, I'll just wait. I think I can just be safe here. Not really sure what kills me. Maybe combustible Gearhulk. Okay, well, opponent's taking the damage, so I can just threaten lethal next turn. Gear Seeker plus Key for 10 unblockable. Okay, let's attack with these ones. I'm not going to leave room for Rush of Vitality to gain life. Okay, so first match. We fell under some pressure early, but once we got self-assembler going, it was just too much card advantage for opponents to recover. So, cool. See you for round 2. Okay, time for round 2. Okay. This hand is... I think it's okay. It's going to be on the draw, so we have a 2-lander. Our 3rd land doesn't help us out too much. We've got a 2-drop we could trade away. And once we get up to 4, we go P-foul, so we've got some good defense. And then Serpent Negotiation. Seems kind of close. I'm going to keep it. Oh, Bomat Courier. Turn 1 on the play. That could be rough. I get the Cobra on turn 2 at least. I'm assuming that the opponent's red. I imagine there's a chance someone's just playing a black deck for an extra artifact. Okay, self-assembler, not what I wanted to draw. Nope, they have red. Underhanded designs. This is not going too well. I don't think we really want Freighter. If opponent has a removal spell, we're in a lot of trouble. Okay, safe for now. Land into Freighter. Yeah, I'm just gonna block. I mean, I want to crew the Freighter, but this having 3 cards under it, that's not, like almost a 3-for-1 that I'm getting there. Okay, so we'll use Select for Inspection on the Infiltrator. Gets us Scry for a land. Hopefully get to put a self-assembler on the bottom. And Daredevil. Their deck seems really good. This is going to be really tough. Don't have a great way of dealing with the Daredevil until I get Serpent out. And that's not going to help too much. Taking 8 this turn. This game's pretty much over. Midnight Oil, yeah. Well, I'm at 5. I'm going to 4. I mean, I can't win this. Sorry, create a creature. I'll just concede. So, Ether trade wins. Has some Synergy against Midnight Oil. So that's extra bounce. If they tap out for something and then you bounce it, they have to discard it. Assuming that oil's already ticked up a few times. That's not going to come up too often. Spark of creativity? No. Spark would give me a way to deal with the Beaumont Courier early. Oh, this is a pretty interesting hand. Oh, actually, I thought we had the Inspector. We've got the Chief of the Foundry, which is still really good. And land, so I'll go for Cobra. Maybe attack for 3 next turn. Yeah, looks like it. I think we can be on the aggressive. Enthusiast, probably making 1/1s for the operative, yep. And attacking, we'll take it. And land, so can go for P-Foul. Go for P-Foul. Opponent might trade the 2 servos for the Cobra. That wouldn't be too bad. Does turn off the operative for now. Could also go for Skygate, Key to the City, and then can guarantee Serpent the next turn. But Serpent's not that great if they have operative out until we get up to 6 mana. So, we'll just attack with both of these, and then go for P-Foul afterwards. Chump could mean some kind of recursion. Otherwise, there's really no reason to chump there. Okay, they're just going to chump on the biggest creature. And play a 3/5 because of the Chief. Well, since I do have Key of the City, I can go Serpent and then just use Key on it the turn after. So I'd be giving P-Foul flying that's attacking for 8 worth of evasion. Opponent's at 15 right now. So I will take that. Because I want to be flying in with a P-Foul. Okay, Screecher. Let me get another P-Foul. I mean, I guess I'm okay not flying in this turn, off-ramp a trade for these 3 creatures if they choose to block. So Cobra, P-Foul come in. Oh, okay, I guess I have to go Serpent first. So the opponent will know that I can't have a trick. So it might make them a little more likely to stack block on the P-Foul. And don't want to trade the Chief off for the Foundry Screecher. Opponent should recognize that they're falling behind. Well, no. I guess not. Although I suppose they maybe need these artifacts in play for the operative to have the Death Touch for the Serpent. It seems like it's going to be hard for them to race. They're trying to. Hmm. I guess they're playing on chumping. They're trying to race here. It could be one of those combat tricks also, if I block with Chief. I suppose I take it. I could go for Skygate and Key to the City. Yeah, I'll take it. Oh, are they just going for rush here? Just to gain the life, get a little extra damage in? Maybe Subtle Strike? They'd probably wait on that. Yeah, it's rush. And Young on the Cobra. So, draw land. We're at 7. 5, 8, 10 damage. But I do have to be a little careful not to die to a swing back. Could just attack with Serpent, Chief, play Mountain, Peafowl. Or, let's see. I could go Key to the City, use it on the Serpent, discarding Peafowl, play the land, play Skygate. Sorry, I mean use... I think I said that wrong. Use Key to City. Yeah, Key to City. Discard Peafowl on the Serpent. Flying with Peafowl and Serpent unblockable. Opponent goes to 5. And then I have Skygate, Chief the Foundry back against these 4 creatures. So if they have removal spell, I can still at least block the operative and not die. Could definitely speed things up. It's that or just attack with Serpent, Chief, play Peafowl, leave them both back to just block whatever opponent attacks with. That's a pretty good play too. Buys the opponent a little bit of time, but makes my blocks pretty good for that turn. Like, I'm still getting in damage or forcing chumps. I'm going to go with that. Might kill the opponent a little bit more slowly. So I think both lines are pretty good. If they go land, tidy conclusion, that might actually make the conservative line better. Because leaving 2 Peafowls back plays pretty well against whatever my opponent could do next turn. Like, they attack with the Screecher, and then I give 1 Peafowl flying because I have 1 blue up, and then they could conclusion that. So opponent goes to 11. still have a servo. Okay, Daredevil. And probably trading there if they attack. Okay, they don't. So I could use Key to the City. I could also... Yeah, I'd probably want to use Key to the City. So Key to the City, 1, 2. So I'd have to discard a mountain. I'd want to play the Skygate if I could. So that would cost 4 mana. I'd have 1 mana to use for Peafowls. So I could maybe fly one of them in. Or I could just attack with one and just let the opponent do whatever they want to it. Actually, fly one in does set up lethal, unless if they chump with the Screecher, so that's pretty good. Could also sit back. But I have the Skygate for defense, so I think I fly one in. So I'm going to have 2 creatures back. If opponent kills one, they still die. So they'd block with Servo or Operative, then I play Skygate. And they have to at least block one Peafowl, so I gotta block with one thing, and then I have 2 creatures back to block. So I don't think they can kill me. Okay. Kind of figured they would use the Operative, just trade with the Peafowl rather than chump here. I'm surprised by that. Okay, there's a mountain. Pharaoh's Apprentice, Midnight Oil. Alright. Okay, attack for 5 on a game 3. So, Screecher. They had Rush of Vitality. A lot of low toughness stuff. High power, so I don't think the Turtle's that good. And Mastodon wouldn't be terrible. But I've got a lot of 5s. Maybe if it's better than Tezzeret's Ambition. I could see that. Just 1 5-drop that blocks Oval Chase Daredevil. That otherwise I've trouble dealing with. Okay, that seems good. I could also put in the black. Sparks, Stalker versus Conclusion, Die Young. Yeah, red's better. Okay, great start. Do our best not to draw more self-assemblers. I'll go up, keep scry. Ooh. Okay. Don't. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not what I want. So, bottom that. P-foul. Go for Chief. Ugh, this Freighter. Try to get up to Shrew Negotiation for it, maybe? Wow, that's 6 damage. Pretty busted. I'd have to double block it with like P-foul Chief to take it out. It'd be super risky, but that's risky. We've seen Rush of Vitality. What would that do? That'd give it 7. Wow, that would kill both. That would be game over. Other thing I could do is just Skygate, take the hit, hope to hit the land for Shrewd Negotiation, steal the Freighter, give them the Skygate. I mean, that might be okay. It might not be good enough. It's also really annoying to have them with the Skygate, given I have these flyers that wouldn't be able to attack through. They still have a Chief. I can also steal their Chief, but I think that's a little too slow. Self-assembler does it, I guess. But only if I don't go for this trade with the double block. That's a tough call. I mean, we know Rush of Vitality, that would be a blowout. Maybe Tidy Conclusions, Unlicensed Disintegration, any pump spell. A lot of stuff destroys me there. It's kind of spite that you want to avoid, because the chance of your opponent having something is very high. Question is, can we avoid it, or is there any way of playing around it? And there is. It relies on getting a land, and even then it might not. Like, we aren't necessarily going to win just stealing the Freighter. Freighter's not that great on defense. Yeah, I guess I could leave back the Theorist and like maybe double block with Theorist and Self-Assembler if this does not work. And the other thing is also, like, the opponent knows that I'm going for this double block. That's another scary thing because I'm not attacking with the chief. Maybe I would leave it back anyway, but like just in case. But question is if your opponent, I just they slam that mountain, welding sparks. There's so many things that just 2-for-1 me right here. Pre-combat infiltrator. Okay, use that to crew the freighter. Makes sense. Oh god. Is this how it's gonna end? 3 cards in their hand. The next question is, I mean, do they make this attack if they don't have anything? They might still make it. 3 cards in hand. We know they have Rush in their deck. I mean, what else could I do? Rush is going to be really painful because even if I wait and like hit self-assembler, the Rush is still going to hurt. I mean, I guess I could take it and then go for try to hit the land for self-assembler and then put 3 things on the freighter. Problem is, I take 6, I go to 7. They still have the infiltrator out. And I mean, they wouldn't have a vehicle, so they wouldn't necessarily be able to just pling me down, but these are just not that great spots. Now, if I win this, if they don't have anything, then I'm in a great spot. Like, I'm going to win the game. Very likely. So there's big upside for double blocking here and them not having anything. And, I mean, it's going to be hard to win otherwise. If I knew the opponent would never make this attack without anything, then this block is horrendous. And I don't know that. There's certainly a chance that they would make this attack. Just to take out like my chief or something. Oh, it's just going to be so bad because they kill chief first. It's going to kill both. They have rush. Subtle strike also does it. +3/+3 does it. But I'm not even guaranteed a land. I get to scry upkeep. And that saves me from some cards, but not all. Yeah. So tough. So I have to have an artifact to exchange. So my best chance would be like not using Theorist, play Self-Assembler, so I have 5 power to put on the freighter next turn, if I make this double block. Yeah, this is a really interesting situation, because there's really not a clear answer. It all kind of comes down to what you think about your opponent, and then what you think the odds are of them making this attack, and then actually the odds of them having that card, and what the game's going to look like if we just take this damage and try to play from there. And I'm going to make the block. Like, how likely do I think this is working? Maybe 30% of the time, maybe less. I think they have something the majority of the time. Well, them stacking that way could be good. What? Oh, they messed up. Oh, that's really good. Okay. They did it wrong. Okay. We still have a shot now. Keeping the chief is insane. So now we definitely use the theorist. Because we need to find land here. We got it. Cool. Alright, self-assembler. Okay. Could definitely be doing it. So given that they played it that way, I really like my play. I mean, given that they had it, I'm gonna call it at somewhere around 30%, maybe 20% that they don't have anything there. Feels like the majority that they have something there, but I mean, if they're gonna misplay it, then I'm making that block every time. Okay, Screecher. All right, I have no more energy, so no more upkeep stuff. And I draw Freighter myself. So they have Infiltrator with the Freighter, so they can poke me for one. That rhymes. They can poke me for one every turn. So, got some options. Could just keep on with the self-assembler train. But I think I got to deal with that Screecher first, because I'm going to go to 12, and they put me to basically 8. And they're 27, so I'm not killing them anytime soon. So probably got to go for Skygate, Windrake. So I'm going to stem the bleeding as quickly as possible here. Fast Monitor, so it's a 4/3. It still doesn't change anything at the moment, but in the second they draw tie conclusions, things could change. So, I'd like to take their Freighter. Taking the Chief could be cool too, because it makes these guys smaller, and then all my guys get bigger. It's interesting. All right, 9 on the clock. So 4/3. This would be a 5/4. I can attack with self-assembler, just play another one, and just keep playing self-assemblers, I think. Almost at the point... They're almost at the point where they can make a big attack. Like if they top deck something, if I go for this attack and then they top deck something, they might be able to make a big attack. Especially if there's removal for self-assembler. And I might take a lot of damage. But I might be missing out on 5 damage. And that's never a good thing. I mean, it's 5 damage now. It's actually going to be like 10 the next turn if I keep being aggressive with these attacks. Because I'm going to have another assembler out. I could attack for 10. So it's costing me more than just 5. It's going to be 15 damage I'm going to miss out on. Or 10 damage at least over the next couple turns. I think I just want to play it a little safe. Like, given I have the negotiation, I'm feeling good about my spot. All they have is the Infiltrator, so if I just keep the board really clogged right now, I've got like 2 flyers, so 1 removal spell, and I'm still fine against their Screecher. Oh, they forgot to crew. Okay, well, always helps. We'll chase Daredevil. I don't think that really changes anything. Mostly, it just gives the opponent maybe a chump blocker or a way to like double trade with a self-assembler. Okay, Theorist lets me keep crewing, or keep scrying. Yeah, I'm just going to go 1 self-assembler here. Okay. I think I'll play another. Could also go Freighter Theorist there. Just start scrying immediately. I don't hate my 6th land right now, but I don't know. I think the 5/5 does better on defense. Okay, Bomet Courier does let the opponent basically sacrifice it to draw a card. Not this turn. I mean, assuming, because they'd have to discard their hand, so assuming they don't want to, like, if they want to keep the last card after the Daredevil, then they'd want to wait a turn to use Courier. Cobra. Now, Cobra is something I could definitely trade away with negotiation. So let's get somewhat aggressive. This opponent might put like Daredevil Courier to trade. I'm going to go Freighter and Theorist, I think. Cobra means I can go for negotiation next turn. Theorist lets me start scrying. Yeah, I'll go with Cobra. Because it might be important. Oh, good, I forgot again. It might be important that I can negotiation next turn. Especially if I just go for Chief. I can go for Chief, crew the Freighter, smash with 2 6/6s and a 7 Trampler. Ooh, Die Young. Okay. All right. So can get pretty aggressive here. Can maybe send the self-assembler, or I can maybe send both. I could have the P-foul back. Yeah, I don't really think I'm dying, so I think that's okay. I mean, maybe they could make good attacks, but they're taking a lot of damage here if they don't block. Okay, cool. Now I feel really safe. Okay. Opponent's burning the Midnight Oil. Can use the Theorist. Can also maybe upkeep Theorist too. Key to the City. That's interesting. I just don't have cards to discard to it, so I'm just gonna bottom it. Could I just kill opponent here? What if I go Shrew Negotiation, ship Skygate for Chief? So I have 4 creatures. I attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they block 3. I don't know. I'll just draw my card. Foundry Inspector. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go for that. So P-Foul, gonna fly that in. Self-assembler, P-Foul, self-assembler, go. Maybe I should have scryed, but I was close to having an all-in that would have worked out really well, so I just wanted to see what I was going to draw, I guess. Plus, I plan on making a pretty big attack, so I thought I might need to leave just extra stuff on defense just in case I needed to chump. Okay. Inspector, there's Incendiary Sabotage, a Gear Hulk. I think I got this. There are 2. Well, I don't know if I win that game if they didn't make the mistake with the Rush of Vitality. Sorry about that disconnect. Yeah, but I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to think about, had I either made the choice to not make that block, to just assume that they had Rush of Vitality and play around it, I think I could have won that game based on what they had. I mean, it would have played out differently. Being at lower life, I might have had to use the Shrew Negotiation to steal their freighter earlier. But I think I would have won it. And had they played it correctly, I also might have won it. Even making the block I did. Because I would have had a land on top, and I would have had 5 power to put on the freighter, and then just kept playing self-assemblers, and it would have been tough, but I think I would have still stabilized, so I think it didn't matter. But that was a really interesting situation, so I hope you guys appreciated my going through that and how I came up to my answer, which, I mean, a lot of it is guessing as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Round 3 is coming up in a moment. Okay, it's finals time. Okay, solid opener. Well, okay, it's better than solid. You got a freighter, turn 4, can activate that. And 1 self-assembler, pretty strong draw actually. Decoction module. That's pretty good with the Rhino. So upkeep, we want to put lands on bottom. Self-assembler on bottom too. Okay, land on bottom. Key to the city. This is going to be rough. The Rhino is going to be a 4/5 next turn if they play any creature, which they did. And, wow, Trumpeter. That's a pretty ridiculous start. Might as well scry. Oh, welding sparks. That's really good. Yeah, that's just on time. So we need to kill that thriving rhino right now. I think. Yeah. Otherwise, the trumper is going to get bigger. Okay. See what they have next. Pima Outrider. So they're probably going to put the counter on, so they get another counter on the trumpeter also. And we'll see what else they have. The self-assembler might be really good here. So lands and self-assemblers on the bottom. We're going to keep most else. Yeah, definitely keeping that. Stay back on defense. Hope there's nothing great here. Glass Blower's Puzzle Knot. So that gives Scry. So opponent's going to get to Scry a bunch with this, especially if they sacrifice it. Let's see what they did with the Scries. Bottom, bottom. That's good. And back from a disconnect. So opponent just passed, so they're probably going to use the Puzzle Knot end of turn. They could also return their Outrider, replay it to get another counter in their Trumpeter at some point. No more energy, so don't need to wait it upkeep. Good. Didn't draw another Assembler. So, yeah. Get the third. And we'll send the Freighter in. I think just that. Yeah, like I want this game to go relatively long. I guess I could actually leave everything back. That might have been smart. Oh, okay. Trade is great. But since they are going to scry, if they do find a piece of removal, remove the assembler, make an attack. They do have the decoction module, which does give them a nice late game, but I've just got so much power in my hand after these self-assemblers. I have so much card advantage that I should be able to beat a decoction module. Durable Handicraft. And Skygate. So opponent went top at the end of turn. So their next card is also going to be good. Trumpeter. Oh, wow. So yeah, Trumpeter with the Handicraft. We got Key to the City. That could get us there. Stalker is also nice. Don't have a great attack this turn, unless if I go for Key to the City and just start getting in every single turn. Stalker does have some potential as an attacker. If they don't leave up the Handicraft, they just have 5 toughness, so I could double pump the Stalker to get through. So I might just go for Stalker. Another self-assembler doesn't accomplish a ton. Helps a little bit on defense if they have removal spell. Not the best use of mana. Arborback Stomper with a counter. Wow, with Decoction module, that's pretty sick. Huh. Well, those are two really good cards. See if I can do something about it. We'll get in with the Stalker. And probably Peafowl Theorist. I want to be able to continue scrying something else. Repairing Tiger. Okay, opponent's side of the board is getting pretty large. So when it turns Scry, could also upkeep Scry. Cobra, well, we can't get green mana anyway, so that doesn't really do anything, so I'll bottom that. Upkeep, Scry again. Skygate. I don't think that does anything. Bottom that. Let's scry again. Small chance we might want Theris on defense. Maybe I'll just draw one card. Like, even a land is fine. Pretty much any card is okay. So get the land. I'm gonna go for Self-Assembler, so let's get in with the Stalker. And I could get in for 2 extra damage, or I could go for Key to the City. I don't think we need the Key to the City out yet. There's some advantage to not showing it also. And I'm not going to shuffle because I've already scried some cards I don't want to the bottom. I mean, the opponent could make a relatively large attack this turn. Just send all the fat creatures, see what happens. They're leaving back the Stomper. Well, they have the Decoction module. So my first thought is just put 3 self-assemblers on the Trumpeter. Take 7 or 8 damage here. If I block the Tiger, opponent could just use module to bounce it, and they wouldn't lose a ton. I could also, this is going to be 8. Yeah, I can't also kill the Tiger, so I'll just put all 3 on the Trumpeter. 12 damage at it should be enough. This is +1/+1, use creature control, and return a creature. Okay. I wonder if the opponent's going to sacrifice Handicraft. Appetite for the unnatural. Okay. That's fine. Didn't change anything. Okay, end of turn, Scry. And Gearseeker Serpent. Yeah, that's definitely worth keeping. Can I keep attacking? Things are starting to get a little scary. Because this 7, 8, it's going to be 15 potential trample coming at me. So I'm going to need a lot of defense next turn. I'm going to have this Serpent. 1, 2, so this costs 5 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm 1 short of P-Foul into Serpent. The Stalker, if I get first strike, I can get up to 6 power. That's enough to stop the Stomper. But that would take up all my mana to do, so I don't want to do that. So Gear Seeker. So if they do that, how would I block? This is going to be 7, 8. So I go Gear Seeker plus Self-Assembler, and then just throw a bunch of toughness at the Arborback Stomper. It's the best I can do. Yeah, I might as well attack with the Stalker. Gotta be... I mean, I'm on like a 2-turn lethal here. Seed Sculptor. Yeah, Seed Sculptor is probably fine. Let's see if the opponent actually puts an extra counter on it. They do. They put one on a Tiger. But attacking with Tiger this turn doesn't really accomplish much, other than, I mean, maybe the opponent thinks they need to kill my Serpent here, because otherwise I can make it unblockable and kill them quickly. But paying 6 mana into this actually doesn't accomplish much, given that I have the Stalker to pump. So this is 8, 8. Let me just block, I think. I can only get 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoa, hold on. I guess I could also trade the Assembler and the P-Foul rather than the Serpent, but it's better to trade the Serpent. Like it's 6, 8 total worth of power and toughness versus 5, 6. So looking pretty good. Windrake. Opponent says a 6/5. Could go Key to the City on Self-Assembler here. Try to get aggressive. And then play P-Foul. Well, I can't get as much damage in with the Stalker. That seems pretty safe. Let's try it. I could try to play this a little slower, but opponent does have some potential on their side of the board. Okay, attack both. And no blocks, so pump is 7. Okay, pump once. And then next turn we can just make the Stalker unblockable, so I can actually get in for 5. Okay. Got game 1. So I have Appetite for the Unnatural, some enchantments and artifacts, some large creatures, Energy Theme, Arborback Stomper. Trade Winds could be good. Like if they get a bunch of counters on a creature, we can just bounce it. What do we have for value? Just Ether Theorist for getting value from trade wins, so it's still not that good. I mean, it could be cool with Shrewd Negotiation. It's not a huge combo. And the black, Die Young, Tight Conclusion. No, the red's better. Okay, run it back. Yeah, it's a good opener. Oh. Long Tusk Cub. Jeez. That's interesting. Probably need to go Skygate here because otherwise if they play a Rhino, they can just pump Cub and then like I'd have to chump with Theorist. Problem is if they have Appetite for the Unnatural, so it's kind of an either or thing, but they've got to have more ways to give themselves 2 energy on their next turn. So I think Skygate is overall the better play. Yeah, they had enough to pump it once. This is scary. Well, Shrewd Negotiation means if they do pump it a bunch, I can just steal it. So I feel a lot safer now. Could go for Freighter into Windrake. Yeah, sure. I think it's... I could go for Theorist, but I could start getting some damage in. End a turn? Pump the cup? You don't need to do that. Is this Hunt the Weak or something? Oh, Theorist. Okay, well, Shrewd Negotiation is going to happen. Wow, opponent just immediately goes all in on it. I think they might... thought they might leave like a little bit left over. Oh, I guess they have glass blowers, so... it makes sense. Like, they're going to have plenty of scries. Let's see what they did with those. Top? That's not good. Let's go Windrake. Get in for 5. Really worried about that top. If they just have a bounce spell, that'd be kind of annoying. What? Why are they scrying? They topped. They probably forgot. Okay. Let's take a big hit. Well, that's a tiger. It's still a problem. Yep. Gotta steal the cub. Oh wait, I'm actually putting myself to 1 here. Whoops. They're blocking. Oh, I will absolutely take that. Wow. Okay, never mind. We're good. Well, it's looking a lot better. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, maybe I should just left back Freighter just so I don't get plinked to death by these Ether Theorists. But opponent has 1 card in hand. They're going to be able to scry a ton, and they did scry 1 card to the top. I think they have 1 extra card on the top. They played Tiger, so... Oh, they're scrying a bunch? Did I miss something? Maybe they want to scry a card that they had kept to the top. They want to then put it on the bottom. Oh, they're doing a bunch of scrying. All bottom. That's before they drew. And decoction module. Okay, here is our opportunity. No artifacts, can't play serpents. We're going to go for P-Foul, Theorist. And could make this deal 7. With the Theorist, probably don't want to do that. Oh God. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. I hit F2. I meant to hit my mouse. I just skipped through an attack. Okay, that was silly. Alright, no biggie. It was just 6 damage. We'll be fine. Wow, opponent is scrying away. Stomper with the module. Yeah, a lot of scrying. Yeah, upkeep, scry. P-Foul. Yeah, it's probably worth keeping. I mean, could attack with multiple flyers, get some damage in at some point. Gear Seeker Serpent. Well, let's get in with the Cub. Finally. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I wasn't expecting them to chump there, but actually it can be helpful to keep the Drake and the P-Foul back if they have an answer to the Gear Seeker Serpent. So this is actually the correct non-attack, but I wasn't really expecting them to chump there. I keep scrying. So what are they looking for? They've done a ton of scrying. There's their second red. Land number 6, they have 1 card in hand. I mean, from game 1, I'm not really sure what they would be needing. Okay, upkeep, I do have the option to scry, but I think I'm just going to draw a card because I might want to use the energy to pump Cub, potentially. And wait, why am I playing that land? I confused myself. I thought I was going to use the Serpent, but I'm not. No reason to play that land. Okay, they have one card in hand. They might just be blocking returning the Stomper. I think I'm going to make the big attack here. Just put the pressure on. Okay, looks like they're going to just return, slow the game down. Keep scrying, keep getting energy, keep getting life. I am getting in more damage than they're gaining, at least. And I also do get to scry with the Theorist. But yeah, no reason to play that land. Well, I guess if I'm going to be activating Serpent and maybe the Peafowls, it's probably alright. Given that, it might even be correct. So I can fly, and make it unblockable. Now 7/7, that would kill Theorist and Stomper. If opponent triple blocks, so I think I don't scry. And a land is okay, because I get to make this unblockable and fly, so I'm not going to scry here. And Theorist, so I can pump Cub even further, so that's probably correct. And then just fly everything else in. I'm probably going to leave back the Serpent. I could attack with it. Is it worth trading for the Stomper? I don't think so. Also means I get to keep it back on defense, which is nice. Probably just throwing a Theorist in front of here. Okay. I haven't seen an opponent's second island. Wonder if they have the Leviathan in their deck. I mean, they're scrying hard for something. Well, guess that's it. Yeah, I didn't think the draft went too well. I mean, I was trying for some kind of like blue-black aggressive deck. And ended up in a heavy artifact synergy deck. So the 3 self-assemblers were great, gave us a lot of value, helped us to stabilize, and the Gearseeker Serpents did the trick sometimes. Sure Negotiation was key. Yeah, I mean, a little surprised with the 3-0 there, but looking at the deck, you can see how it was done. So yeah, hope you enjoyed watching that. There were definitely some cool moments that were worth reviewing. So I hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys next time.